Hey, this is Deepak here from digitaldeepak.com, and in this video we are going to talk about Facebook ads, and we are specifically going to talk about the Facebook ad strategy that you should be following and how to get the maximum ROI. One of the biggest complaints that people talk about when they talk about Facebook ads is that the ad cost goes up very soon, and then also the response to their ads goes down very fast. So ad cost goes up, and response goes down. It's a painful place to be in because people get excited when they start their Facebook ad campaign because they start seeing some amazing results. But then the excitement is very short lived, and then the ad cost goes up and the response goes down. So, first, we need to understand why this is happening before we can understand how we can tackle it. So, why is this happening in the first place? So, let's look at the Facebook feed, and let's see. Here we have the Facebook feed, and whenever you open the Facebook feed, you see a post. It can be from friends or family. You see another post, it can be by someone that you are following, and then you see an ad. And that's how the Facebook feed usually works. This is how it works for you and every other user of Facebook. When you run an ad, Facebook will show you what is the total audience that is available that you can run the ad for. And let's say in this case, for example, let's say the total audience is 1 million people. So even though the target audience here is 1 million people, not all the 1 million people will be using Facebook in the next few days or the next few weeks while you are running the campaign. Most of the people will not be using Facebook, or they might be using Facebook for a limited time in which other people will be showing the ad to them and you might not be able to reach them. So, if the total audience is 1 million, you can never reach 1 million people using Facebook ads. It is very unlikely. So, the actual available audience will be much less, and it might be zero point 0.5 million or it might be even less than that. So, this is the actual available audience who will actually see your ad when you are posting an ad on Facebook. So, if you have a list of 1 million people in the audience, but let's assume that you are only able to reach 200k people. Now, 200k is all that is available based on the interest targeting that you have given for Facebook to show the ad. So, what happens is that since the available audience is less than expected, let's say all the 200k people watch your ad for the first time and 1% of them actually click on it and come to your website. And once this 200k is exhausted, and if you are running the ads at a high daily budget, what Facebook will start doing is that Facebook will start showing the same ad to the same people for the second time. And what happens is that when people see the same ad for the second time, they are just not interested in it as much as they saw it for the first time. So the CTR reduces. Somebody saw for the first time, if he is interested, he will immediately click on it, and the lead quality will also be high if you are generating leads via Facebook ads. However, if somebody is clicking on the ad only by seeing it for the second time, the overall CTR is less because of that. Because when you look at 100 people seeing the ad for the second time, not all the people would be interested in clicking it. Only half of, let's say less than half of them will be interested in clicking it. And the lead quality of the people who see the ad for the second time also reduces. So the goal is that you should always try to keep your ad frequency between 1.5 to 2. Anything more than 2, the quality of the clicks and the quality of the people clicking and coming to your landing page drastically reduces. It is still okay to have, like, up to 1.5 in terms of ad frequency, but nothing more than that. So there are two ways you can tackle this problem. One way is to create new ad copies. But if you are creating new ad copies for the same product that you are selling or for the same landing page, it might be a little bit more effective than the same person seeing the same ad for the second time. But it is still ineffective because you are targeting the same audience, which is the audience of, in this case, we talked about 200,000 people out of 1 million total audience. So these 200,000 people are going to see the ad again and again. So in this case, you need to take a call whether to keep the audience very narrow and targeted and increase the ad frequency or publish new ads for them, or you can go for audience expansion. So what is audience expansion? Audience expansion is basically to show the ads to more new people by either creating a lookalike audience from the custom audience that you have already built, increasing the custom audience, or letting Facebook figure out what is the new audience that would be interested in the ad. So when you start a campaign, start it with a small audience size. Let's say week 1 you are running the campaign. Start it with a small audience size, and let's say in this case the target audience that you are giving is 1 million. So here let's assume that you have 1% CTR on the ads and the ad frequency is less than 2. So once the ad frequency goes more than 2, you should not let the ad run, and I don't recommend creating new ad copies and again publishing it for the same audience also, because it's very tiring and exhausting to always create new ad copies. It's okay to create a very good ad copy and let it run for a long time. So when you start seeing that the ad frequency is starting to go up and the CTR is going to go down, for the same campaign, just go ahead and edit the audience and try to go for 2 million people. If you are using lookalike audience, then you can go from 1% lookalike audience to 2% lookalike audience, all the way up to 9% lookalike audience. And that is what Facebook helps you do. It helps you expand the audience. So I would ideally go ahead and expand the audience to 2 million in week 2. The CTR might not become 0.5%, but it will still reduce a little bit, because when Facebook starts expanding into new audiences, that new audience is not as targeted as your first week's audience. So if I am targeting just 1 million people who are interested in digital marketing or email marketing or whatever I am selling, these people are going to be highly interested. And if I have exhausted showing the ad to these people, rather than showing the ad for the second time or the third time to the same people, I will always try to go for a new audience and try to expand the audience. But when you expand the audience, the second 1 million people that come here are not going to be as interested as the first 1 million people. So that is a trade-off that you have to definitely make. So Facebook ads performance will go down over time, but at the same time you can control it to some extent. What a lot of people do is that they just keep increasing the ad frequency, they don't even look at the ad frequency, and because of that they don't understand why their Facebook ads cost is increasing and the quality of leads is decreasing. So if you do this, where you are expanding the audience to 2 million, and maybe in week 3 you can expand the audience to 4 million, you will still see a very small reduction in CTR. Like instead of 1%, it will be 0.9%. If you go to week 3, instead of 0.9%, you will get 0.8%. But it won't like drastically reduce like 0.5 when the ad frequency goes up. So here you are getting fresh audiences and they are looking at the ad, and over time Facebook will understand better and better about who your audience is, and based on that it will also try to go and reach out to the right audience set when they are doing the expansion. So this is one thing that you have to keep in mind. And another most important thing that you have to keep in mind is the ad budgeting. So considering that the available audience is limited and you cannot expand the audience because that's all the users that Facebook has in a particular geography, in a particular age group, with a particular demographic and with a particular interest, and that is the magic of Facebook. You will be able to target people based on their interests. And since there is limited number of audience, if you are doing ad budgeting and if you do a high daily budget and if you are trying to scale your campaigns, then what will happen is that the audience will get exhausted very fast. And once the audience gets exhausted, then Facebook will start showing the same ad multiple times to the same audience, and the audience will get fatigued as well. So for you, the audience gets exhausted, there is no new audience to expand to, and for the audience, they start having ad fatigue. So they see the same ad again and again. They are less sensitive to click on that particular ad, and they are less likely to convert on your landing page. So instead of creating a high daily budget, what I recommend is keeping a low daily budget. And if you keep a low daily budget, the audience is fresh and it gets replenished over time. So instead of running a campaign for 60,000 rupees within 1 week and exhausting the audience and then letting the performance of the campaign go down, I would ideally spend that 60,000 across an entire month by adding an ad budget of 2K per day. So never stop your ads. Instead, keep running your ads for a long time and keep running it on a low daily budget for a long time. So daily budget doesn't necessarily mean you are spending less. So a lot of people end up running a campaign for a short time, then they stop the ads, then they start the ads again, and that is not the most efficient way to do it. So to give you an example, imagine that you have a well, and in the well, let's say there is going to be 500 liters of water that is being replenished every day directly from natural sources and everything. And let's say you are drawing out water from the well, and when you are drawing out water from the well, there will be some water already in the well. So let's say there are going to be 1000 liters in the well. So if there is 1000 liters in the well, and if you are drawing out 500 liters out, then there will be another 500 liters of water remaining. But if you give it a day, because of the natural streams and inputs, another 500 liters will get replenished by the next day. So let's say 500 liters per day is the natural replenishing power of the well. If you keep withdrawing 500 liters a day, you will be very sustainable. But imagine if you get greedy and you go ahead and try to withdraw 1000 liters per day from the tank. What will happen is that you will hit the bottom, and when you hit the bottom you will get soily water, and here you are not giving enough time for the well to replenish itself with fresh water, and you are trying to suck out the bottom. So that is what happens with your Facebook ad campaigns as well. When you have a very narrow targeted audience and when you have a high daily budget, you end up exhausting the entire audience. And if you still try to run your ads, then you are going to the bottom of the well and trying to get more leads, and naturally the lead quality will go down, the audience quality will go down, the performance of your ads will go down, the revenue will go down, and you will not be able to manage the campaign for a long time. And if you have created an ad, every ad that you create should be an asset. It should be a combination of the text that you put on the ad, the image that you put on the ad. And if you are trying to create more ads, then obviously the quality of the ads will go down. If you are only creating less ads, then the quality of the ad copies that you create can be high. And to create less ads and to invest more energy in creating quality ad copies, you need ad copies which run for a long time and which can give you returns for a long time. And that can happen only if you run it with a low daily budget but run it consistently. See, I have some campaigns where I'm just spending 200 rupees per day and it has been running forever. I don't stop the ad, I don't edit the ad, I don't do anything to it. I just put a low daily budget and keep letting it run for a long time. And you will also be able to run campaigns at a low daily budget if you have a lot of ad copies and if you have a lot of lead magnets. So if I have, let's say, just one lead magnet, then I will be putting, let's say, 10,000 per day budget for this one lead magnet. However, if I have 5 lead magnets, then I can put 2000 per day for each and every lead magnet here, and that would probably be more sustainable than having one lead magnet and trying to push more budget into the same campaign. So the things to remember is that always run ads on a low daily budget, run a lot of ads, and if you want to increase your ad budget, create new content and create new ad copies rather than increasing the budget for the existing campaigns. And always keep your ad frequency 1.5 to 2 and set up the ads in such a way that the ads can run for a long time, and eventually keep expanding the audience for your ads and do not stick to a very narrow audience. So this is what I wanted to discuss today in the Facebook ads strategy video, and I hope you liked this video. If you have any questions about Facebook ads, or if you have questions about Google ads or any other platform ads as well, go ahead and leave a comment below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.